Hi everybody, welcome to the Dream Giveaway Garage. A special guest with me here today. 49 NASCAR wins in 17 years, 4 NASCAR championships, 3 as a driver, and 2020 NASCAR Hall of Fame. He needs no introduction, I'll do it anyways. Let's get a round of applause for racing legend, Tony Stewart.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here today, Tony. Tony, you got to come into the Dream Giveaway Garage, and what did you think seeing all these great cars here that were given away to help out charities?
This is like an adult toy store. This is every man and woman that likes cars. This is their dream to come into here and see all these cool vehicles that Dream Giveaway produces and upgrades. And then, you know, like I said, the biggest component is the charities. So to see great vehicles go out the door to somebody that may buy 1 ticket or they might buy 1,000 tickets, to see somebody with a smile on their face when they receive one of these vehicles is pretty cool.
Oh, and you're going to help us with our latest and greatest giveaway. Is going to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of Carroll Shelby. Wow, what an inspiration for the entire motorsports industry.
Yeah, I didn't personally know Carroll and didn't have the honor of meeting him before he passed, unfortunately, but you know, I think all of us at some point now in the last couple of years have seen the movie Ford versus Ferrari, and when you get a chance to see Carroll's story and hear his story, and you know, he had to learn how to push a rope a lot of times. I mean, it was an uphill battle for him in a lot of different areas, but to see how he persevered and to see how his staff, not only him, but his staff were able to build competitive race cars and build really cool street cars as well. I mean, that legacy continues to this day, and it's cool to be a part of it.
Oh, absolutely. And the winner of the Shelby truck and the Shelby Mustang are also going to get something from you.
Yeah, they're going to get a really cool hat from Carroll Shelby. So autographed hat from myself for the winner, and even the runner-up is also going to get a hat. So the winner's going to get 2 really cool vehicles and a hat. Runner-up gets a very cool Carroll Shelby hat as well.
Very cool indeed. The giveaway starts on March 1st. It's going to run through January 23rd of 2025 with a winner announced on or about February 8th of February 8th or February 6th of 2025. So it's going to be a fun giveaway over the next 11 months. And we've asked our audience to put together some questions for you. Do you mind answering them?
Against my better judgment, sure.
All right. So this is from, same question from 2 folks, from Michael K. and Stephen E. What's the quickest and the fastest you've been so far in a vehicle?
It definitely has to be the top fuel car that I'm going to drive this year. When Lee and I started dating, I had the opportunity to do a test, and at Charlotte I went 3.74 on the ET, and ran 322 mile an hour. So that's by far the fastest I've been in a vehicle.
And in NASCAR, they limit it now, right? They stopped allowing unrestricted speeds some time ago.
Yeah, I think the fastest I ran in a Cup car was actually at Michigan International Speedway when they repaved it. It had so much grip. The entry to turn 1, because the front stretch is D-shaped, so it's a lot longer straightaway than the back stretch, but going into turn 1, we were at 210 miles an hour in the Cup cars.
Wow. Next question from Daniel D. Would you ever be interested in doing an SCCA race along with your current endeavors? Now, you have already, haven't you?
I have ran sports cars a little bit. I ran the Daytona prototypes at Daytona at the Rolex. Ran the 24 hours there multiple times. Ran the Paul Revere race that they would run in conjunction with the Cup race at Daytona in July, and made 1 start at Watkins Glen in a Daytona prototype. So I've enjoyed it. I love road course racing. I loved it in the Cup cars. When I was a kid, I won a national championship in go-karts on road courses. So I'm a big road course fan as well, but I just don't get a chance to do it as often as I'd like. But the answer to that is yes, I definitely would be open to an opportunity if the right opportunity came along on an off weekend.
Great. And along those lines, what is the most successful passing maneuver? This is from Floyd B.
I think it depends on what car you're in, but I would say if you've watched the Daytona 500 the last 5 years, the most effective method to pass and win the race has been crashing the leader on the last lap. Seems to be the most popular method, but I think it all really is dictated by what type of race car you're driving. I mean, dirt track cars, there's multiple methods of how to pass. In NASCAR, it's the same. IndyCar, it's a little bit different. Every car has its own unique sets of disciplines that it takes to be successful in them, and with that is figuring out how to have successful winning passes.
Great, thank you for that. David W. would like you to describe the thrill and the rush or the passion for racing cars.
I think from my standpoint in my life, I'll be 53 years old in May, and literally from the time I was about 6 years old to present, there is not one day that has went by that I didn't think about a race car. So to go this many years, almost 50 years of being passionate about auto racing and being at the racetrack, it's, I tell everybody when I was in my NASCAR career, I literally knew 7 days ahead of time what my schedule was. As soon as I'd get on the plane after the race to fly back home, then I knew what my schedule was for the next 7 days, and I didn't think past that until the next Sunday, and then you learn. But the main reason for that is because all you cared about after the race on Sunday, even when you won, as much as you wanted to enjoy celebrating, all you were thinking about was the next race. So, thinking ahead to that next weekend, that was all I needed to know, what was going on during the week before I was getting back to where I truly wanted to be, and which was a racetrack.
Race on Sunday, race again.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Very, very cool. Let's get to that next question here. What is your favorite race that you have competed in and why? That's from Kathy K.
It's hard after all these years of racing. It's hard to pick one. I would say two that really stand out. An event that I am very passionate about and love is the Chili Bowl Nationals at Tulsa, Oklahoma. They literally truck in dump truck loads of clay and build a dirt track inside a building. And nowadays they have in the upper 370 range of number of cars that enter the event, and you're trying to be one of the 24 cars that are the starting field for Saturday night's A-Main. That's just an event that I've loved. It really meant a lot to me the two times I was fortunate enough to win there. But I would say the only race that I can think of off the top of my head that rivals that has to be 2011 at Homestead when we won our third NASCAR championship. That was just a night that everything that you could think of that could go wrong kind of went wrong, but at the same time, at the end of that race, we were really locked in and got ourselves in position to win that race and championship, and the way that we won that was pretty spectacular.
Great. Here's a question, back to Dream Giveaway. Karen M. would like to know, should she buy her tickets on the Demon, the Super Beat pair, or both?
Well, if a little's good, a lot's better, correct? So I would say both. I mean, why not give yourself a chance at two great vehicles?
Yeah, absolutely. Karen, you better take Tony's advice on that. Jackie R. would like to know, what's your favorite muscle car? I think I know, but let's see if I'm right.
Well, it depends on whether you talk to my wife or myself. I'm on the Ford family, so I've got a GT 500, and I'm excited about getting that car back from Shelby. They've been working on it, making it a King of the Road edition, so I'm excited to get it in the family. I think Leah and I have a strong competition with our two manufacturers that we represent, but we've both got fast cars. It's just a matter of making sure that we're not competing against each other on who has the fastest car.
How about a classic muscle car?
I've always loved old Corvettes, and honestly, the crazy thing is, probably the least popular Corvette is the one that I've enjoyed the most. I like an 80 or 81 Corvette. I just love that silhouette hourglass shape. It's probably the least popular Corvette that they've made on resale value, but it is one that style-wise, I always liked that style of Corvette.
There you go. I didn't know the answer. I'm not going to say what I thought the answer was. Tommy S. would like to know, is there a future for Tony Stewart Racing in a pro stock team or possibly a NHRA Factory X?
We've got Top Fuel and funny cars currently in our stable. How much more torture do I need as a car owner? I would say it's really not on our radar at this point. I mean, it's a big endeavor to run and campaign a Top Fuel dragster and a funny car as well. So I think with my limited knowledge of drag racing, I'm going to stay focused on the two divisions that we currently have.
Let's talk about last year in NHRA. And you ran Top Alcohol, and you were a force to reckon with.
Yeah, I had two great teachers with my wife, Leah, and Matt Hagan that drives our funny car. It's like going to high school all over again and saying, okay, you're supposed to read this book, and somebody gives you the Cliff Notes version of it that shortens everything up. Those two helped my learning curve quite a bit, but I really enjoyed the Top Alcohol dragster class. Won 4 races throughout the year and finished second in the national points. So had a very successful rookie season in drag racing.
There you go. You didn't think you'd ever call yourself a rookie again, did you?
Well, there's been a lot of different changes in my career over the years, and I've been a rookie a lot of different times, but I didn't think that I would ever be a professional race car driver in my 50s and running for a Rookie of the Year title.
Wow. Now this year, 2024 NHRA, you're doing something different. Do you mind sharing with everybody the details of that?
Well, those that don't know what we've already announced, my wife is taking a little break and wanting to start a family, which we're both very excited about. I feel like she got the short end of the straw on this. She's had to get out of her own race car that she just had a career best finish in the point standings, finishing third, and had a legitimate and a very, very good shot to win a world championship. But to take that step and step out of the car to start a family, and obviously what her body's going to go through during a 9-month pregnancy is, when we get to that point, will be a big challenge for her and us as a family. But I definitely got the better end of the deal. My part of that is not 9 months. I can, in 90 seconds, be done with my part of that. And I get to drive a race car, so I feel like I hit the lottery, and I feel like she's having to penalize herself, but it shows how much she really wants for us to have a family together, and the dedication that she puts into that.
So Top Fuel for you in 2024.
Yeah, I'm going to drive Leah's car for her.
First race?
Gainesville. And I am a nervous wreck about it. We've got some test runs in so far. We'll get some more in before the event, the week of the event. But I've been telling everybody, I'm like, you should be more worried if I wasn't nervous about it. I'm nervous because I respect the cars, I respect NHRA and the drivers and the teams and what goes into it. And strapping into a car that has well over 11,000 horsepower is not normal for me. So there's another learning curve and another process that we're going to go through of learning how to hopefully be a good Top Fuel driver one day. But again, I've got my wife at my side and Matt Hagan with us that will do everything they can to help shorten that learning curve for us.
Well, we wish a successful 2024 for you on those NHRA tracks. And with those victories, you could perhaps be the very first person to have not only a NASCAR championship, not only an IndyCar championship, not only a sprint championship, but NHRA victories as well.
Yeah, obviously that's the goal. Anytime you're a race car driver, you want to show up and feel like you have a shot to win every time you go out. I think my wife and Matt and both of our teams have more confidence in me than I have in myself at this point, but I'm hoping that will quickly change. I feel like we have a great race team that will definitely give us that opportunity. I feel like I'm the weakest link at this point, but I kind of enjoy that a little bit because I'm not worried about the rest of the team. I know the rest of the team's solid and can perform well. It's just a matter of me getting caught up and learning everything that I need to learn to be at the level that they're at right now.
Great. Next question. Can you paint a picture for those who have never sat in the driver's seat of a race car? What are you thinking, feeling just before you get to the green light or the starting flag?
Well, I think a lot of that depends on what kind of cars we were racing. I mean, obviously I'm going into a world of 300 plus mile an hour, nitro burning Top Fuel cars from the driver's side, but I've driven everything from that all the way down to go-karts, and I think every one of those that that feeling's a little bit different. I mean, like we mentioned, I've run the 24 hours of Daytona. When you start that race, the feeling, you're not as amped up. I mean, I think heart rate wise, your heart rate's high just because it's the start of the race, but knowing that it's a 24-hour race, you very quickly settle into a rhythm and you calm down. I feel like the longer races, it's a lot more subdued at the start of the race because you know you have a long event, a lot of laps. The drag racing side is the polar opposite. It's the shortest run you're going to have. You're going to run on a good run 3.6, 3.7 seconds, and it's over. So, you know, when you get into the dragster and get ready to make a run, your heart rate's really, really high because there's a lot of things that's going to happen in that short amount of time, and you're going to cover a lot of distance in a very short amount of time as well.
Got it. Thanks for that. Do you have a favorite track?
Well, I have to say Eldora Speedway. I mean, that's the track that we own in Ohio, a half-mile dirt track. But, you know, again, for all the different types of cars we ran, I really loved racing at Phoenix International Raceway with the Indy cars. NASCAR, Richmond International Raceway, and Sonoma Raceway were my two favorites on the NASCAR side. I don't have a favorite NHRA track yet. I have a feeling it'll be like most of the other things that have happened in my life. You know, my favorite sprint car track, one of them was Ushweekend Speedway, where I won my first World of Outlaw race. So I feel like NHRA, that track is going to be dictated. That your favorite track's probably going to be the one you win your first race at.
We can't wait to see what that's going to be in 2024.
Yeah, me too.
Question about you and Leah. If you can't settle an argument, would you take it to the track to declare a winner?
Well, obviously, whoever asked that question knows my wife. She's uber competitive. I'm uber competitive. Normally, if we get to the argument stage, neither one of us likes to lose, but I think we've been together long enough now and we've done a really good job of somebody realizes that the other one wants to win more than the other and normally backs down and dissolves the conflict, so to speak. So we normally don't let it get too far, but again, the last thing we want to have to do is have to get in our cars and try to settle a dispute on a racetrack.
All right. Do you have any pre-race rituals or things that you always do? Maybe a lucky something or another that you keep with you in the car?
No, not necessarily, but I think one thing that's always been important to me when I go to get in the car is I want to be calm when I get in there. I don't need to help get my energy up. When I get in the car, it naturally happens anyway. So I find myself working really hard in every type of car that I get in of trying to be as calm as I can be when I get in there and letting myself relax with the race car before it's time to actually start driving it. So that's probably the one thing that across the board, no matter what type of race car I'm in, that is a constant variable in the equation of that's just my ritual, is trying to sometimes get in a little bit too early into the race car. I don't like to be rushed. So I like to get in a little bit early and have a little bit of time to just kind of relax and then get prepared for the race.
Okay. Now here's a fun one. If you could go back in time to one Daytona 500 race that you did not compete in, what would be the race and what would be the car that you'd want to be driving?
Daytona 500 that I have not competed in.
Not competed in. Anywhere from 1959 up.
Wow, I've never thought of that, honestly. I guess the first one that comes to mind, which I think would be a really cool one to have been a part of, was the first televised Daytona 500 where Donnie Allison and Cale Yarborough got in a crash and Bobby Allison was down there and they were all swinging helmets and fighting with each other. Either to be in that mix with those three guys at the end of the race or kind of do what Richard Petty did in that event and sit there and steal the win after they crashed. That might have been a fun one to be a part of.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, let's start talking just real quickly before we wrap up about these two Shelbys again. One lucky person is going to win the two Shelby Centennial Edition vehicles, the F-150 Super Snake and the Mustang. The Mustang has 750 horse, the truck behind us 800 horse, plus an autographed Carroll Shelby black Stetson hat to both the grand prize winner and the runner-up. It's a pretty big prize package, Tony.
Yeah, and there's a lot of horsepower. I mean, you think of 1,550 horsepower in these two vehicles. As you can see, the Super Snake F-150 behind us is amazing. And the more I'm around this vehicle, the more I'm getting jealous that I'm not going to have a shot to win this vehicle. So, but I'm excited to see who wins this. And obviously the Mustang, it's a Ford Mustang. I mean, what's not to love about it? So I'm excited about it. This is a great giveaway. Carol Shelby and everyone at Shelby America, obviously, as you can see, produce great vehicles, and to be a part of Dream Giveaway and give somebody and a lucky fan an opportunity to win these two vehicles together is really a cool opportunity that I've been excited about.
And last question, any words of advice or any words of wisdom for that winner, whoever he or she may be?
Well, they obviously have an option, which I think is a ridiculous option, but we know that there's scenarios where some of these fans can't have two vehicles. They don't have garage space or the opportunity to have them, so there's a cash prize instead. But I think you're crazy to not take the opportunity to win these two vehicles. When you see them in person and the detail involved in them, these are collector cars that you can keep them as collector cars, or you can just flat out go out and drive them and enjoy them every day. So either way, it's worth investing into this raffle and having the opportunity to support charities with our veterans. That's something that we all love and we're all passionate about. But these two prizes are well worth the time and energy and the investment to try to get as many tickets as you're comfortable with. You only need one to win, but you increase your chances the more that you buy.
There you go. Tony, thanks for joining us today in the Dream Giveaway Garage. We'll see you guys next time. More great fun, more great action, more great grand prizes, and don't miss the opportunity to win the two Shelby vehicles, the truck and the Mustang, and autographed Stetson hat, autographed by Tony Stewart. We'll see you guys next time in our favorite place on earth. You know where that is, Tony?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's right here in the Dream Giveaway Garage. See you guys next time.